friends, welcome to the PokeCoders channel. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and make sure to follow us on social media for the latest updates. For today's video, we're counting down the top 8 Pokemon ROM hacks that are too hard even for experienced players. Let's get into it. Starting off the list is Obsidian Emerald. This ROM hack keeps things fair but incredibly challenging. There's a hard level cap, meaning you can't just overlevel your team and steamroll the game. You'll constantly have to adjust your team, plan your moves carefully, and think ahead like an actual competitive player. And now we're heading outside to help Professor Birch from the incident, because Professor Birch is in trouble, and that's when it happens, your very first encounter. You reach for your first Pokemon, your very first decision in a world that will constantly challenge every choice you make. Every major battle actually forces you to think strategically. If you love competitive style gameplay, this one is definitely for you. And trust me, one bad switch can completely ruin your battle. The gym leaders in this game are no joke either. They come prepared with solid coverage moves, smarter strategies, and teams that can easily catch you off guard. If you love competitive style gameplay and difficult but rewarding battles, this one is definitely for you. At number 7, we have Pokemon Odyssey. This isn't your usual Pokemon adventure. Odyssey mixes dungeon crawling mechanics with difficult resource management and long strategic battles. You can't just spam attacks and expect to survive. Sometimes you'll find yourself deep inside dangerous areas with limited healing items, low PP, and barely any safe spots to recover. And honestly, that pressure makes every battle feel intense. The game really forces you to think carefully about every decision you make. Even regular trainers can become dangerous if you're not prepared. The deeper you progress, the more intense and mentally exhausting the journey becomes, but in the best way possible. It almost feels like you're trapped in a survival adventure where every battle matters, every resource counts, and every victory feels earned. And honestly, that's exactly what makes Pokemon Odyssey stand out from other ROM hacks. Next up is the legendary Pokemon Emerald Kaizo, the super hard mode of Pokemon Emerald. This ROM hack is unforgiving but also incredibly rewarding once you finally overcome its toughest battles. Every trainer battle feels carefully designed to punish even the smallest mistakes. Gym leaders come prepared with competitive movesets and strong type coverage. And for players who love starter Pokemon, Hoenn starters can even be found later in Evergrande City. Emerald Kaizo adds convenient quality of life improvements that make team building smoother despite its difficulty. On top of that, the game lets you catch all 386 Pokemon, giving players tons of freedom when building teams for difficult battles. There are also special event tickets for legendary Pokemon, giving players even more optional challenges and rewards to discover during the adventure. But what makes Emerald Kaizo even more impressive is that the difficulty actually feels meaningful instead of unfair. At number 5 is Pokemon Snakewood. This game is absolute chaos in every sense of the word. Imagine waking up in a completely twisted zombie apocalypse version of Hoenn where nothing feels normal anymore. Everything you thought you knew about Pokemon is suddenly gone. We are talking about terrifying zombie Pokemon, variants, strange encounters that make you question what's even happening, and gameplay that feels intentionally unpredictable from start to finish. But honestly, that's exactly what makes it so difficult and so unforgettable. You'll discover entirely new areas like the hidden meat house, the unsettling island of Calm, and even the completely unexpected Hoenn University of Film. Each one feeling like it came from a different universe, and the world itself is just strange in the best possible way. Compared to standard Pokemon games, Snakewood also leans into a darker tone, giving the entire experience a creepy, unsettling atmosphere that sticks with you the longer you play. In Snakewood, the real challenge isn't just battles, it's surviving the madness of the world itself. Coming in at number 4 is Pokemon Inclement Emerald. This game takes Hoenn and completely reshapes it into a full-on competitive battlefield where every route, every trainer, and every major fight feels like it was designed with strategy in mind. Trainers don't just use random Pokemon anymore, they've got upgraded teams, smarter AI, and well-built combinations that actually force you to think before every move. And honestly, even simple battles can turn into full-on tactical situations if you're not careful. Basically, this is Hoenn on hardcore mode. But what really makes Inclement Emerald stand out is how modern and expanded the entire experience feels. Taking the number 3 spot is Pokemon Emerald Imperium. This hack doesn't just increase difficulty, it completely modernizes Emerald into a full competitive experience that feels way ahead of its time. From the very beginning, you'll notice everything feels sharper, faster, and much more strategic. Trainers don't play around anymore, they can completely shut you down if you're not prepared. Every encounter demands attention, planning, and proper team synergy, otherwise you're going to get punished hard. You also get the chance to choose your starter from Gen 1 all the way up to Gen 9, letting you begin your journey with almost any Pokemon you prefer, which completely changes how every playthrough can feel. The game also includes following Pokemon, which makes your journey feel more alive and immersive as your partner literally walks with you throughout the adventure. But don't let that comfort fool you. The difficulty spike in this game is very real, because alongside all the quality of life improvements, this hack also expands the Pokemon world massively. At number 2, we have the fan favorite Pokemon Radical Red. This ROM hack is basically competitive Pokemon turned into a full single player challenge. Every gym leader, rival fight, and boss battle is carefully designed like an actual competitive match, forcing you to think beyond just type advantage. From the moment you start, you can already feel it. This is not a casual playthrough. This is preparation heavy, strategy focused, and brutally punishing if you come unprepared. And finally, taking the number 1 spot is Pokemon Run&Bun. This ROM hack is truly on another level. Inspired by the brutal difficulty of Emerald Kaizo and the competitive depth of Radical Red, Run&Bun takes everything up a notch and turns it into a full-on strategic endurance test. From the very beginning, you can already tell this is not a normal Pokemon journey. The game also introduces custom field effects tied to specific locations, meaning certain areas of the game literally change how battles work, adding another layer of difficulty and forcing you to adjust your strategy depending on where you are. Run&Bun features nearly 500 handcrafted battles, and each one is carefully designed with custom movesets, synergistic team builds, and insanely difficult strategies that constantly force you to adapt. Almost every fight becomes a puzzle you have to slowly solve, piece by piece. There are also unique roaming, legendary and mythical Pokemon which add extra challenge and excitement to exploration, often requiring preparation and persistence just to encounter and catch them. Sometimes you'll spend several attempts just figuring out the correct strategy, and even then, execution matters just as much as planning. It's the kind of ROM hack where one small mistake can completely flip the entire battle, and that's exactly why it pushes even the most experienced Pokemon players to their absolute limits. But what really makes Run&Bun even more intense is its expanded gameplay systems. So, which of these difficult Pokemon ROM hacks are you currently playing? Drop your hardest ROM hack experience in the comments below. If you want more Pokemon ROM hack content, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications.